Hi, my name is Christine, and this is Life Lessons. This is where we take a pause from our work, from our daily routine, and just ponder on some of the lessons that we're learning as we go along. If you're new to this channel, I would request that you subscribe to this. I would request that you like this video if this is something that you learn from, and that you share this with others so that then we all learn together. Thank you so much for those who have sent me comments, for those who encourage me and tell me what you'd like me to talk about. It's always nice to interact. So put your comments at the bottom and let's keep the conversation going. Now, today I'd like to talk about becoming a lifetime learner. I remember at one point we were having, we had guests over, and so we were in quite a big group and we were watching news. And you know, of course, that news is bad news. And at that point, they were talking about some drought that showed, desperate families, very dilapidated, very hungry mother, very, very frail child. You know those pictures. And as I was looking at that, I remember remarking, if I was born in this place, I would wake up and walk. I would just walk until the sun goes down and I sleep under a tree, and the following day just walk until I come across a better place to live. And one of our friends said something that stayed with me. He said, no, you wouldn't. These people don't know any better. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's nothing to do with brilliance. They just don't know. And then he turned to me and said, why are you not a multi-billionaire? And then it hit me. It's all a function of knowledge. It's nothing to do with intelligence. It's just what you know. The life you live now is because you don't know any better. So the gap between where I am now and where I would like to be is a knowledge gap. So I have to keep learning if I'm going to make my life tomorrow better than my life today. I actually remember at one point reading early in my pursuit of personal knowledge, personal development, one of the very first books that I read was Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad. And I remember him saying, what do we ask from rich people? Whenever we meet a rich person, most of the time we ask them for money or we ask them for jobs. Why does no one ask a rich person how to get rich? And I stopped reading and I thought to myself, okay, who is the richest person I know? And I remember coming up with a few names, and I called up a particular gentleman. I made an appointment to see him. And I asked him, how would I get rich? This was very, very early. I had just finished school. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be intentional about learning. I'm going to be deliberate, make a point of learning every day. Because most of the time when we know somebody who is doing better than us, we usually don't ask them how to do better. I actually later on had a similar experience when we went to a prize giving day in school, at my daughter's school, and they gave the prize to the best students in this and this and that and the other. And then they gave a prize to the best parent. And I was like, whoa, how do you become the best parent in the whole school? And when the event was finished and I was in the parking going home, I met this particular parent who had won the gift, and I said, hey, congratulations. And I asked him, how do you become the best parent? And he gave me a few tips: participate in school activities and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, if you're going to become better, learn from, because there's two reactions. You can either decide to hate the person who is doing better than you, and there's a popular expression nowadays of becoming haters, which really refers to being jealous of the person who is doing better than you. A better approach would be to find out from them how to get to where they are. So there's always someone doing better than you, whether it's in the area of career, in the area of business, in the area of academics. There is always somebody who is a step ahead of you. Why don't you make it an intention? Why don't you make it your business to learn from them? I am in the training business, and one of my colleagues does sales training. And his favorite thing to do whenever he starts a sales training, he will always ask, who did the best in sales last quarter, last year, whatever the season they're talking about. And everyone in the company knows who did the best last year, who is the top salesperson. Everybody will point that person to you because it's always obvious who is doing well. And then he asks the next question, how many of you have taken this gentleman, this lady out to lunch? Sit him down, have a cup of coffee with them, and ask them, what makes you perform so well? What is it you do differently from us? Most of the time, what do we do when we know people who are doing well? We point them out, we show them off, or we avoid them, or we feel one way or another inferior to them. It would be a much better approach to get to those people who are doing better than you in whatever area and find out. So as we go into the new year, it's a new year right now and everyone is making all sorts of resolutions. Why don't you make it a resolution to be a learner, to always be learning? And the best way I know how to do that is to find someone who is doing better than you in whatever area this is, and just ask them their wisdom. You will be surprised. They'll be very willing to share with you. My name is Christine. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.